Hello kids, this is Faizan Hussain and we were studying the chapter Tissues class 9 Biology. In the last class we have studied about the division of labor and our next topic is importance of tissue. Importance of tissues. So here in this topic we will study that why tissues are important to us. Like we know the tissues are present in the multicellular organism only. Unicellular are made up of single cells and tissues are combinations of cell. What happens when this combination is formed? Yeah, this combination of cells is you can say the cells are organized and forms tissue. Now what is the function of tissue? To perform a particular function. It performs a particular functions in a multicellular organism. We can take an example. Suppose our house is a multicellular organism, right? To build a house we require different labor, like how masons helps in building the walls and roof or floor, you can say. Electrician helps in, you can say, the electric fitting, right? Carpenter helps in, you can say, making doors and windows of wood, right? And plumber helps in water fitting. In the same way the function of tissues is also divided, which is also known as division of labor. So particular tissue performs the particular function. Muscular tissues help in movement, right? And in the same way nervous tissue helps in conduction of nerve impulse, or you can say transmission of signals, right? So here one of the main important function is division of labor. Now we got to know about the division of labor. Now here we can say that if we ask a particular group to build the whole house, so what will happen if we ask the carpenter to build the house, to do the carpentry work and to do the water fitting, electric fitting and everything? Will he able to do? No, it will be a very difficult task for him, right? But when we divide the work, when we divide the labor's work, that carpenter will do the work of carpentry, you can say, or the wooden work, electrician will do electric work. In the same way, when we you can say divide the tissue to perform the particular function like nervous tissue to conduct the nerve impulse or to transmit the signals, muscular tissue for the movement, right? So here the work is reduced, right? So it reduces workload, right? Now next, what will be the next function? Here we can see that importance of tissue. In the importance of tissue, why they are important? They are organized form of cells, right? The cells are organized to form tissue and tissues are organized to form organ, and they are further, you can say, organized to form organ system. So they are organized to form organ, and organ are further organized to form organ system, and organ system is further organized to form an organism. In this way an organism is made. Like we have studied in the last class also that tissue combines to form organ like you can say heart, right, which was made up of different type of tissues, cardiac muscles, so you can say muscular tissue, nervous tissue was also there, connective tissue was also there, right, epithelial that was helping in forming the walls of blood vessels which were present in the heart, right. In the same way there were different tissues which combines to form organ that was heart, and heart, blood vessels, bloods all together forms the circulatory system which was an organ system. And organ system like you can say circulatory system, respiratory system, and skeletal system, right, nervous system, excretory system, they all combines to form an organism, right. Okay, so now next we can see when they are well organized, and due to this improved organization, we can say this improved organization their efficiency is higher. We can see higher efficiency, and higher the efficiency, so their higher will be the life rate, right, so higher survival. So here we can see so higher survival. Got it? So this is the importance of tissue. Okay, now we will study that tissues are basically you can say present in the multicellular organisms like plants and animals. Now question arises, are plants and animals are made up of same kind of tissues? Right? So here, what will be the answer? Actually, in the plants and animal tissues, like we have studied the plants and animal cell in the chapter cell, there were slightly difference. In the same way, there are some noticeable difference between plants and animal tissues. Plants and animals tissues. So what are these noticeable difference? Here in the plants, we can see that plants tissues provide mechanical support and strength. Since plants do not move and do not locate from one place to another, they are located at the same place only. So there is not much movement. And hence they require less energy. Right? In the animal tissue, we can say due to movement, they require more energy. They require more energy. Right? Next, what is the next difference in the plant tissues? In the plant tissues, growth is limited. limited growth. Whereas in the animal tissues, the growth is uniform. So the growth is uniform. Limited, you can say it occur in the limited part only. Limited part, like here is a root tip. So here the permanent tissues are present in the middle portion and meristematic tissues are present at the tip and side region. So the growth occur, and here these are the permanent tissues. So growth do not you can say there is a limited growth. There is a limited growth here. So here these tissues, these meristematic tissues, they divide, right? And here the growth is limited. That's why we say the limited growth here. And but in the case of animal, the growth is uniform. Got it? Since just we saw that some cells were, you can say, growing and some cells were having the limited growth, they stop at a particular, you can say, after a particular period. So here the clear demarcation is there. Means cells are dividing and non-dividing cells. Okay, so here the cells are dividing and non-dividing. These two types of cells are here, but here no such demarcation is in animal tissue. There is not any such kind of demarcation is present in animal tissues. Got it? Next we can say here some plant tissues divide throughout their life. Divide throughout and are localized. Like meristematic tissues, they divide throughout their life and they are present at a particular position only, like you can say root or shoot tip, right? But here no such division. Got it? And here if we see the plant tissues are simple in comparison to animal tissues. I mean, animal tissues are much complex than the plant tissues. Like in the plant tissues there are meristematic and you can say permanent tissues only, and they are much simple than the animal tissues. Whereas in animals there are the different types of tissues, epithelial tissues, and you will find different types of epithelial tissues, connective tissues like blood, RBCs, WBCs and all, and skeletal bones, right? You can say osteocytes and all. Next, nerve cells. Nerve cells are also the type of, you can say, animal tissue, right? So here we can see that these are much complex than the plant. Animal tissues are much complex than the plants. So we can write here simple and here complex. So this is the general difference we can find in the plant tissues and animal tissues. In details, we will study in the next class. Okay, class. Thank you.